Hey out there, good morning. Good morning to you. Well, it's morning here. It's about 9:15 on Thursday, August 18th. I'm about to go in, take a look at the stock market, possibly hit the buy button on a couple stocks that are on my radar. Last Friday was 2 weeks since I've been day trading. It's not a long time, right? I'll cut right to the punchline, if that's how you say it. I made $1,427 so far. So I am a profitable day trader for a couple weeks. Now, let's take this in the proper context. Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, either the most successful or one of the most successful investors ever. He's been doing this for 80 years. He bought his first stock when he was 11 back in 1941. So, if I've made some mistakes and everything doesn't go according to plan after 2 weeks, I got to be kind of easy on myself, right? So $1,427 profit, and that's not chump change. I'm a profitable trader. I'm trying to find all the silver lining in here because I want to keep going. I want to do this for at least a month or 100 round trips. Round trip, remember, is getting in and out of a stock the same day. I also did something called swing trading. Like, I feel so official when I use these terms. I swear a lot of these terms are put out there so that people that don't know what they're doing feel stupid and they don't get into the market. Hey, did you day trade with the swing trade? Did you look at the P&E ratio? Did you do this? Like, I don't think I'm going to get into the stock market because it sounds really confusing. So the way that I look at it, and I'm not like an advisor, I'm not telling you what to do, but for me, it was important for me to get in, have skin in the game, trade with real money, not paper trading, because you can't learn some of this stuff by paper trading or reading books. The emotions of going up and down. Like, what I find is that I'm more conservative in the stock market, way more conservative in the stock market than I am when I go down to the casino. Because if I call this video by the name I want to, the biggest casino in the world, the stock market, then I see some similarities between the casino and the stock market. One of the best or biggest edges that I have is I could come and go as I please. I can get out whenever I want. If I go to the casino and I'm not feeling it, I could just walk away. I usually don't at the casino. The difference is when I go to the casino, I have play money that I'm going down there with. I have that money earmarked. It's not like I'm not taking money out of my mortgage. I'm not taking money out of other expenses or anything else, and I go down there and then I can't pay a bill. I'm not doing that. So when I lose, and believe me, I want to win every time I go down to the casino, but it doesn't happen. I'm not a sore loser when I leave the casino. Now, I don't think Diane's watching this, but a couple times she was a little bit of a sore loser. Nothing against her. She doesn't like losing. Neither do I. The casino is different than the stock market for me, though, because the stock market, I look as if that's my family's money. That's money that we've put aside, Diane and I, for future goals and things to buy for the house or our family or things like that. And I don't look at that money the same way. It's funny. Like, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because one of the mistakes that I've learned that I've been making since I've been day trading is I get out of the stock too fast. It's something. When your money's in there, can you stomach a stock that goes up a couple $100, let's say, in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half hour, and then you start seeing it slide down? Well, for me, in the beginning especially, I'm pulling my money out. Problem is the stock kept on going up. So these are some lessons that I learned. So now, that particular scenario that I just gave you, I'm leaving my money in there and I'm taking incremental amounts out. Let's say I have 1,000 shares and it goes up a substantial amount. I'm selling 500, getting some profit out of it. Then watching the 500 either go up or go down and then take it out little by little. That's just one example. I got to get in, take a look at the stocks for today, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to give you some more lessons that I've learned over the past couple weeks. All right, so I'm going to let you guys into my highly technical trading journal. Okay, it's not so technical. It's some chicken scratch. Here's the first week. Actually, in July, I played around with Walmart a little bit, and I made a couple bucks, $355. I'm really considering just starting August 1st as my first day. You can see the companies that I traded, buying, selling, the profits, the losses, stuff like that. At the end of that time, I did 17 round trips, and I made $1,063. And then there's week 2. So week 2 is, it's funny that I have all these like positive amounts, right? I have a whole bunch of positives, but my eye goes right to right there. The losses. I don't know if you guys are like that, but I for some reason I thought Warner Brothers Discovery was going to really go up, but it didn't. So in a matter of 40 minutes, I lost $403. That was my biggest loss. Now I'm typically going into a trade buying $10,000 worth of shares, and my goal is after 30 days or 100 round trips that I increase that at least 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Here's my reasoning. And I know that there's going to be a trader out there. It always feels like I have to give a background story to where I'm coming from, my thought process. There's other people on YouTube that aren't giving background stories. That sounded a little bit like I was whining. Here's my thought process. I'm going to play around a little bit. And when I say play, I don't really mean play, because I told you before, I'm a little conservative and I'm serious about this. This is my family's money and I'm taking it serious. But I don't want to lose that much money while I'm learning. Now, after 1 month or 100 round trips, I'm going to feel a little more confident. And I'm not saying that it's a guarantee or anything like that, but if I'm doing these trades and I'm making, I don't know, $1,472 after 2 weeks, if that was multiplied by 10, that would be a nice grab, right? At the end of 2 weeks, 14,000 instead of 1,400. Anyway, so that's where my mind is. I mentioned swing trade before. So on 8/10, actually 8/9, I bought Nike. And the reasoning behind that is on the day before, it really tanked. I forget what it lost. It lost, I don't know what percentage it was, 8, 9%. And I'm thinking to myself, Nike is a solid, strong company. That must have been based on, and I did some research, based on some fear and, like consumer whatever. I don't want to get technical because obviously you can see I'm not really technical. But my reasoning was Nike's a strong company. It's been around forever, and I'm going to buy it because I think it's going to go up. And if it doesn't, maybe I'll just hold it. And that's what I wound up doing. I bought it on the 9th, and then I sold it off on the 11th in increments, like I was talking about before. And I wound up making, I guess, around $300 on it. Here's a new column that I'm keeping in my journal, is the why. Like, why am I doing the trades that I'm doing? So this way, later on, I can look back and I could see where I made mistakes or where my successes were. Here's a great example of a mistake. I'm laughing, but I wasn't laughing yesterday. Bed Bath & Beyond. This is one of those meme stocks. I don't even know what meme stands for, but I know that it was going crazy yesterday. Well, here, it was a silly trade. It was too late. I was greedy, and the wave was over. I don't think I ever really wanted a catchphrase attached to Harry, but here's one. It's okay to ride the wave, but once it gets to shore, you got to get off. It's pretty catchy, right? I know I got to consolidate it because it was a little too long. But what I mean by that is that by the time I got into Bed Bath & Beyond, everybody and their brother already knew about it. They were already selling off. So as soon as I bought, like 9:33 a.m., at 9:41, I already lost a bunch of money. And then I sold the rest of it a couple minutes later. So I got to be aware of that. Now listen, I know there's going to be somebody out there. Again, I'm giving a background story. I know there's going to be somebody out there saying, what are you doing trading ETFs, Harry? What's an ETF? Again, I feel really smart and intelligent because I know what some of these terms are now. I don't even know what an ETF stands for, but I do know what it is. It's a fund where it takes, in this particular case, the VOO is a Vanguard fund, which takes stocks from the S&P 500 and it weighs them out. So let's say that, for simplicity, the S&P 500 has 100 stocks in it, right? Companies. And I know somebody out there is going to be commenting saying, no, there's 140. I got to learn all that. They take an equal weight of the S&P 500. And to make a long story short, it's a bunch of different stocks in that fund. From my experience, and I have some of the VOO ETFs. As a matter of fact, I have that. I have SPY. I have QQQ ETFs for long term. I'm saying to myself, so I says to myself, self, and Sherry, you're gonna like this because, gotta be honest, I like the rush. I like the rush of getting into the market and gambling. However, balanced with the fact that this is not just play money for me to go to the casino, I have to balance the two. So, okay, I need a rush, but what's going to be the least hurtful if I get hurt? And the ETF is like that. I find that the ETFs move really slowly. So on the VOO, I see the S&P 500 going up. It's tied to the S&P 500. I bought almost $40,000 worth of shares. They're trading at $392 each, so $39,200 worth of shares. I bought 100 shares. I watched it, and I said to myself, if it goes down $10, I'm getting out. At least I was in. Well, I got out, and I made like, I don't know, $30 or something like that. I got my little taste of that rush, and then got out. I'm just looking at the whiteboard. I switched it up. I erased everything. I found this whiteboard in Staples. It was on sale. It was in the clearance section. I love this thing. You stick it to the wall, you take it off, no damage. But this is a OPM. Do you know what OPM is? No, not opium. OPM, other people's money. Just like the rush that I feel like I love, whether it's the casino or the stock market or something like putting anything at risk, I really love using other people's money. And when I say people, I really mean like banks and lending institutions. It's almost like I'm getting back at them. I'm not saying I have a resentment against banks. Maybe I'm envious. I don't know. Envy's really not one of my shortcomings. I have a whole bunch of character defects and shortcomings, but envy's not one of them. Maybe I'm jealous. Maybe. Anyway, my thought is, it bothers me that banks lend out money that's not even theirs. So let's say they borrow it at 1% and they're lending it out to us at 8% and it wasn't even theirs. And they're getting that spread in between. It's like, that sounds good. And I'm not saying that's what I'm doing because it's really my money anyway. It's like a mind game. But I have a TD Ameritrade account. And they give me a margin account for day trading, and then they give me a margin account for like long-term stocks and other things. Well, I wind up using the margin account in order to do my day trading. And then I have to take into consideration the amount of money that I have to pay for that, but it's minuscule. Make a long story short, there's something that gets me going, like gets me tingly inside. Like I love that it's not my money out there, when I know that it really is. Completely unrelated to the stock market. I just looked at where I got some books over on my filing cabinet, and these two were up there. Now, full-time gambler, I don't know if I'm a full-time gambler between real estate, stock market, casino, everything else, but it was interesting to me, and I read it. This $1 Million Video Poker, I like that book for a couple different reasons. Bob Dancer is the author, and nothing against you, Bob, but actually Bob Dancer is like a pseudonym for another name. I forget his real name. I don't think him and I are going to be hanging out. Not that there's anything wrong with Bob. I just think our personalities would clash. But I got to tell you, I like Bob. And the reason why I like Bob is because he set his goal to be a professional video poker player. He quit his 9-to-5 job. He built up a bankroll. Did I already tell you guys this story? He put together a bankroll. I forget what he put together. Maybe a $10,000 bankroll. And he went out to Las Vegas and he lived frugally so that he could play video poker full time. That's what he wanted to do. And he did it. And he succeeded at it. Now, he's a math guy. And like when I go down to the casino, I make a lot of mistakes playing video poker. Not as many as I used to, but I still make mistakes playing video poker. This guy, technical and everything else. And that's how he made his living. And wound up making $1 million off of it. I think he still lives in Las Vegas and he writes for one of the magazines out there. I enjoy that story because here's somebody that didn't want to work a 9-to-5 job anymore. said, you know what, I want to be a video poker player. Now I'm thinking behind the scenes, if he's telling any of his friends or family, like, you know what, I'm thinking about moving out to Las Vegas and being a professional, I don't know, video poker player. I'm picturing it. I'm picturing his friends like, maybe you should get checked out. Doesn't sound like a good idea. And Bob just moved out there and said, the heck with it. That's what I'm doing. And here he is years later being successful. Good for you, Bob. All right, so I'm a little hyped up. I just took my pre-workout before I go over to the gym. And we're almost to the end of this video. If you're not into like gambling or the stock market or real estate investing or anything like that, maybe these videos are boring. I try to make them a little entertaining. If you like them, subscribe, hit like, so I know that. So you're almost to the end of this video. Yes, but I just wanted to say, oh, check out this guy, huh? It's like shooting us the moon. We got that from our sons. I don't know, for Father's Day, probably. I like day trading and getting into the stock market because it has a lot of similarities to my primary income is derived from real estate investing. It gives me freedom to do what I want when I want to do it. Diane works as a W-2 employee, but she's the boss where she's at in her department. She gets things from her job that I never got as far as a W-2 employee. And I've had a lot of jobs. 100. Yeah, no, not figuratively. Literally, I've had 100 jobs. 4 years ago, I think I made a video and I said, last month was 4 years since I quit my W-2 job, and I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for the position I'm in. Anyway, listen, I'm not going to go there. But I am going to say that these kind of jobs that I enjoy gives me the freedom to do some stuff. We all got problems going on in our lives. We all got situations. We all got obstacles and things like that. And I try not to bore you guys with mine. Because what's that saying? If we all sat around a table and put our problems in the middle of the table, we'd all take our own problems back. I'm a firm believer that that's true. Diane's mom, she was in the hospital last week, and now she's over at a rehab, so we're crossing our fingers and we're saying prayers that she's going to get strong enough to get out of there, because I know she doesn't want to be over there. So Helen, a shout out to you. So we got that going on. I get to go over and I get to bring coffee and visit her and everything else. I wouldn't have been able to do that with a W-2 job. What else? We have the rental, the Brown House. If you go back into the videos, you'll see the renovations on the Brown House. Well, that was rented, and the tenants moved out last week. And they were amazing tenants. They left the house amazing. I had to do some stuff on the exterior, so I got to do that while I'm looking at the stock market and making a couple bucks, or losing sometimes. I get to do that. You know, we had that IRS audit. 2 years? It got settled. We owe a little money. And surprisingly, you know why we owe some money is because the gambling wins I couldn't offset properly with the losses. I got to keep a better log. I'm going somewhere with this. That maybe the videos that I'm making, and I've said this in previous videos, maybe they'll spark somebody out there that maybe is hating their W-2 job or hating whatever they're doing for a living right now. And I'm not one to ever tell anybody what to do, or you should do this, or I'm trying not to give unsolicited advice. I'm trying to lead by my own actions. And from my own experience, quitting my W-2 job, because I don't want to sound too dramatic, but it was borderline torturous. When I quit there, it was scary. But here I am 4 years later, and I am loving it. Even when I take a $400 loss in like 7 minutes. So if you're on the fence about what to do, or you have a dream or something out there, and you want to say, hey, listen, you know, I watched that video from that guy. What's his name? Harry. He did it. And if you need a cheerleader, then reach out, leave a comment. Hey, Harry, say something nice to me so I can get out of this miserable job. All right, till next time.